Welcome to the Cricket Hotspot. We are recording here from Toronto. This is your Cricket Hotspot. And this is me, Parth. I have with me Sarthak.
Hey guys.
Now, Sarthak, this is podcast number 9, and 9 is the number of wins India had under Tiger Pataudi, who recently died.
Well, great man.
Very good man.
One of the great captains, one of the great early captains, and I think one of his greatest achievements was shaping the Indian spin quartet of the early 70s and the late 60s with Baby, Prasanna, Venkatraghavan and Chandrasekhar. So I think a great captain. We cannot take that away from him. And from what I read, one of the earlier captains who stressed on fielding, which is great for an Indian captain or Indian player nonetheless. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, he sort of moved Indian cricket along, because before that we were still considered to be, there was still some sort of, you had to be subordinate, and he really brought that India can win at anywhere and at any stage, which is something that Kapil Dev took forward from him after that. But obviously his biggest achievement would be the first overseas test victory India had and the first overseas test series victory India had, both against New Zealand. 2 different tours, but definitely a great man.
Great man, definitely big part of Indian cricket history, and may his soul rest in peace.
He will sorely be missed, yes. Now, another loss that we incurred this week was last Wednesday. Steve Jobs died. We were all glued to the television, and it was a very big surprise, especially a day after they had the Apple event that they did for announcing the iPhone 4S. It was very surprising.
Big loss. Both of us being huge Apple fanatics, I think we feel it more than the other regular public.
Yes.
Read the BlackBerry people.
Yeah.
But in any case, it was loss of a great man. A great visionary and a marketing expert. I think the way he marketed his products, no matter how good or how bad they were, no one comes close.
I mean, you cannot expect so much anticipation against any other phone or any other laptop when it comes out than an Apple laptop. Definitely, his keynotes were at a grand stage, and he made them look grand. Definitely. I think our biggest homage to him can be that right now we are carrying 2 iPhones and 2 MacBooks, and we are doing this podcast recording on a MacBook. So I'm sure wherever he is listening from, he'll definitely enjoy that fact.
Wherever you are, Mr. Steve Jobs, please like us on Facebook.
Yeah. Please, definitely do like us on Facebook. I did not expect that, but
may his soul rest in peace. Loss of a great man, and hope the company moves along in the direction that he said, the vision that he said, and achieves that, and much more. And we're always there to support the company.
Yes, we are always there to support the company. You make good products, we will support you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Moving on, I think we have a lot of cricket to cover in this episode, I guess. Do you want to get started on that one?
Yes, let's get started. I think the first series that I think I am very much looking forward to is the South Africa-Australia series happening in South Africa. It's sort of a short series. I mean, this tour deserved a bigger sense of occasion, a bigger number of matches. What did you think what do you think about only just 3 test matches and 1 T20 and 3 ODIs?
I think it's 2 T20s and 3 ODIs and 3 test matches. But I think it's okay. It's some of the tours that are stretched for too long.
The test matches are just 2.
Oh, is it only 2? Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. That's only 2 test matches, 3 ODIs and 2 T20s.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay. It could have had 3 test matches, and that would have been ideal. But I think the schedule doesn't allow Australia to stay back for longer, because they have to get back for their summer series against Sri Lanka and India after that.
Yeah.
So,
but I would have rather liked this series to be a bigger series rather than having 2 T20s. 1 more test match, because I don't remember, or there hasn't been any test series that has been memorable with just two test matches.
That's true, but the point being, the T20 games are taken by the players as good practice matches. They don't really care about the result. It's the amount of practice or the condition the exposure to the condition
To
they
get
can
used
get
to.
within those 4, 5 hours that they get on the field.
Yeah, it's
I think
good
that's
match practice.
match practice, absolutely. That's what it is. And if you read their interviews, that's what they take it as. And it all depends on your personal opinion or personal choice. If you want to participate and take that as match practice, or if you want to compete in some other level.
Bad start for the new phase of South African cricket with their captain injured from the Champions League, and well, let's not accuse Champions League again, but captain injured, and now there is a new captain, part-time captain Amla taking over the 2 ODIs and 2 T20s and 3 ODIs. Your take? I mean, really looking forward to see his captaincy.
Definitely.
Or it doesn't matter.
No, definitely looking forward to seeing his captaincy. He'll, knowing the kind of batsman he is, he'll definitely bring some amount of thinking and his...
we both are big fans of Amla's batting.
Exactly. His approach towards batting will show in his captaincy. I mean, if it does, it'll be great. South African cricket will only be benefited by that. But he does have experienced players in his sides, and I don't think he needs to worry about not having...
South African team is full of talent.
Full of talent. They have Callis in there, they have Smith in there, and he doesn't have to worry about anything. If he needs advice at any point of time, he can go to either of those. Boucher has been around for years now.
Smith?
I mentioned that, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So Boucher has been around for years, and I think he can come up with sound advice anytime.
And what do you think about the new phase of the new coaching, Alan Donald being the bowling coach and Gary Kirsten, erstwhile coach of India, being the South African coach? Do you think will it bring them the World Cup that they're so desperately looking for?
Oh, these are absolutely great people to be coaching any side. Donald was an amazing fast bowler in his generation. Kirsten, amazing.
I liked what he did with the New Zealand fast bowling unit. They won that key match against South Africa, which was all on fast bowling.
Absolutely. If you want people to be coaching your team, you'll do worse than find better players than these. So again, it's up to the players how they take up their advice and how they put into practice. And Kirsten already has won a World Cup with India this year, and if he can go and achieve that task again with South Africa, who I think deserve to win at least one World Cup. I think they're everybody's second favorite team, like New Zealand is with a lot of people.
I have stopped banking on them. I have lost so many bets. I have stopped banking on
That's right, and I think that's a record even they want to set straight. Yeah. And every time they come out on the field in a major tournament like a World Cup or any sort of multi-team tournament, they want to set it right too. And I think this could be one of the first steps towards achieving that.
Yeah, I mean, every coaching change is geared towards that, and every coaching change is whether it's Duckworth Lewis who's gotten them.
Well, as you can imagine, the first step towards changing yourself is accepting there's something wrong with you, and Kirsten did that in his interview. Yeah. He admitted there is an issue of choking.
Yeah,
and that's the first step towards reforming yourself. I think if any changes to come, it has to come now.
Yeah, your prediction on the series and my prediction, will just lay it out right now.
I think it's a very tough call. I don't know. Especially you put me on a spot here.
Especially in the T20s.
T20, tough call again. That's one of the most unpredictable formats.
Yes, you can go either way.
You cannot call. But
you can become a genius or you can flop. I'm giving you the first choice in T20.
Oh, if I had to, I'd go 1-1. T20 1-1.
1-1. Yeah, that's a safe bet.
That's a safe bet. I think that's how it's gonna go. Let's see.
I would say looks like gonna be rain on the first T20, so I'll go South Africa to win the second one. Let's see.
So one Australia and one South Africa.
No, I'm saying South Africa will win
both.
Not both. I mean the series. I don't know if it rains or if they win both, but I'll go for South Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. ODIs?
ODIs, I'd say 2-1 to South Africa.
Actually, I'll go Australia this time. Oh,
interesting.
Let's see, because I was really shocked by their approach to cricket in the recent Sri Lanka series, and I think they have enough capability to beat South Africa. We'll talk about the tests later on. Now moving on to the next series, Bangladesh West Indies. Bangladesh pulled off an amazing T20 win. It was a very unlikely win from nowhere. What do you think about this tour?
Oh, it's a great chance for the new captain, Mushfiqur Rahim, to step up and lead his side to glory. And he did that in the first match, led from the front, remained unbeaten till the end and made sure he saw his team home. So, great start to his captaincy career. And Bangladesh definitely has the potential, but they've never actually come true to it. So, they haven't lived up to the expectations. The public in Bangladesh is crazy. I think one of the craziest cricket crazy, cricket loving public in the subcontinent, I think even more than India and Pakistan.
Yeah, because one thing that was clear from all the journalists reporting during the World Cup was that Bangladesh is what India was in 1970s, where the expectation to win wasn't as much, but the fanaticism was there. Now Indian public has become more commercialized. Like the ticket prices have gone up. You don't get the common man coming in, and it has become very India centric. You support only India. You don't support cricket. I think Bangladesh is now India in the 1970s. Don't you think that is the case?
That is a very interesting comparison, actually, and I think that kind of holds true.
Because I remember when we were growing up, I mean, the stadiums were jam-packed.
We were definitely not growing up in the 70s.
Well, we were not. I mean, even in the 90s, like the stadiums were jam-packed even for test matches. Now you see test match stadiums. They're going nowhere. So definitely an interesting.
It could also have to do something with the fact that the amount of cricket being played in your country. There is a lot of cricket played in India, so people don't really miss it. While Bangladesh doesn't get that many international matches, so anytime there is a match, be it a test match or T20 or one-day international, people pack the stadiums. So that in a way has to do with the amount of cricket being played, but definitely the public is, at least the Indian public, is a little saturated with the amount of cricket being played,
well,
I guess.
Especially with the IPL and especially with Champions League playing in different cities, it has really created that, okay, people buy season passes and that's their cricket season to go watch as much cricket as they want. And now in this series there would be 3 ODIs and 2 test matches played. What do you think? There is one played in Mirpur, the first one. Second one also played in Mirpur. The third one is played in Chittagong. But by the way, I really like the Mirpur ground that we saw in the World Cup. It was definitely good one. And then the 2 test matches played, one in Chittagong and the other one also in Mirpur. So
I think for me,
it's a close series.
If Bangladesh has a chance, it's in the one-day internationals. I still don't see their test match credentials proved that much. But having said that, neither is West Indies that great at the moment in test matches.
Yeah, it can go either way, both of them.
It can go either ways, but I'll still pick Bangladesh for the ODIs and West Indies for the test matches.
To win the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Bangladesh win both of them actually, because their public really needs a break right now, and cricket can be. But I think West Indies will win both of them. Mm-hmm. West Indies will win all. The ODI series as well as the Test match series. So moving on, let's go to the third series, which will be happening this week. So there's
a lot of cricket.
We talk about number of matches, definitely a lot of cricket happening. Pakistan, Sri Lanka. This is interesting because there has been, as usual, a lot of administrative changes in Pakistan cricket. Their CEO or the Pakistan chairman has been sacked or relieved. Yes,
let's just say relieved.
And I think to the best wishes of the people.
Yes.
People were definitely not happy. Your take on that?
Actually, to be honest, each and every Pakistan cricket fan that I have talked to has complained over the regime of Ijaz Butt. Every time, till the day he was, till today, he was in charge of the Pakistan Cricket Board. I've heard nothing but negative criticism about him. I think each and every Pakistan fan is rejoicing at the moment.
Yeah.
No matter, not because there's a great man coming in. No, people don't know a lot about
who Zaka is.
So it's not about who's coming in, but the reason of celebration is who's going out. So. Yeah. I think that's more important for them at the moment. And if the next man can lead the country in the right direction and get I mean, leave the world of politics behind, which is tough to do in the subcontinent.
That's very difficult to do in Pakistan.
But even anywhere in the subcontinent, but especially in Pakistan. But in any case, even if they can, if he can work towards bridging the team and making it a more cohesive unit, I think.
I think if he just does first thing when he comes to office is to bring Afridi back, the entire country will be praising him too much, I would say.
Oh, definitely, Afridi is going to be back.
Yeah, he should.
There's no question about it. He is going to be back. I think it's only his ego that he called off, that he said he was going to retire, and.
Well, it was also mismanagement of him.
But we don't really know what happened inside, right? The internal workings of the system we don't really know. But it was his ego that led him to calling off his international career. And he was expecting people to welcome him back with a red carpet, but that did not happen. So he's kind of stuck in the rut right now. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be back.
He should be back now.
Very soon.
One memorable moment I'd like to share with you on his chairmanship was when the match fixing scandal broke. I think 1 week later or 2 weeks later, did you hear Ijaz Butt's statement? He was saying, it was all conspiracy from ECB and
the spot fixing scandal.
Yeah, the spot fixing scandal. It was all conspiracy of ECB, and the English board is also doing match
That's
fixing.
That's right. I remember that one.
And it was one of the most funniest and the most embarrassing moments that I have seen a person do in the media.
So.
You know? And being the chairman of your board, that's kind of very.
Such kind of behavior is not expected from a cricket administrative in a country like, at least say Pakistan, where cricket is such a huge thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it shows the kind of lack of love for the game administrators sometimes can have.
Right.
Anyways, now there has been 3 tests, 5 ODIs, and 1 T20. Your quick take on them? Pakistan, Sri Lanka. So
I'd say Sri Lanka wins the test matches hands down, just because of the experience that Sri Lanka possesses compared to Pakistan. I'd say Pakistan's fortunes depend on 2 players, according to me, and that's going to be Mohammad Hafiz and Yunus Khan. According to me, Hafiz has been a consistent performer no matter what series you take.
Hafiz is the man with the golden arm.
Exactly. With the bat, with the ball in the field, he has been the most consistent performer for Pakistan, going back at least 4 series.
Yeah,
so
at least till the World Cup, yeah.
So definitely he's the man to watch out for. And the other man being Yunus Khan. Obviously you cannot get more experienced players than him.
Shoaib Malik is making a comeback.
I'd still bet my money on the 2 of them over Shoaib Malik. And I'd still bank my money on Sri Lanka to take the series because of the depth of experience and the quality of players that they have.
I'm hoping Kumara Sangakkara and Mahela Jayawardene get back into form very quickly.
And that class alone is enough to take on any attack in the world.
Any attack.
So, and they have awesome youngsters like Angelo Matthews, and Dilshan himself is great. He's a good player.
He's a good player, yeah.
So I'd bank my money on Sri Lanka for the test matches.
I would say the T20 will go to Pakistan. That's either way again call, but I'll bank on Pakistan. And first instance, 3 test matches, I'll say you're right, Sri Lanka will win maybe 1-0 or 2-0 or something like that, with 1 maybe being a draw. And then 5 ODIs, your take?
That's a tough call, but again, I would say Sri Lanka. Just based on the depth in the squad. Pakistan, although have played decent amount of cricket in the recent past, but playing a quality opposition has been a bit of an issue for them, because the last series I think they played was against Zimbabwe or Kenya, Zimbabwe, sorry.
It was definitely. That was actually a good match. You know, Zimbabwe played really well in that.
They played really well, but that's what I'm saying. The quality of opposition that they faced is not nowhere close to what Sri Lanka offers. So again, I'd say Sri Lanka only because of the depth of quality in the squad. If Pakistan can unearth some future heroes in this series, this might be the turning point in their cricket.
Yeah, and it's good news for UAE fans. They get to see some cricket in their own backyard
Absolutely.
Followed by England against Pakistan happening after this. Now, who would have expected India is playing England again? It has become India, Sri Lanka of 2009.
That's right. When they kept playing each other back and forth in India and Sri Lanka.
Yeah,
so again, England is in India for a 5-match ODI series and
one T20.
And one T20, and again, a lot of India's top players are not part of the squad.
We have mentioned that a lot.
So that's nothing new, and I think if that was the trend, and if the trend is to continue, India will be taking a sort of beating in this one.
I don't think so. It's in India. You have spinners coming in.
You have faith in the team.
I have faith in the team. Even if I to be fairly honest, I don't really care about this series anyway, because it is a series that's not going to prove anything. But the thing is that I don't think India will be as bad, and hopefully if the weather is helpful to India, they can definitely give them a good fight, and I think they will win this series.
I think obviously the conditions are much more to India's liking.
Yeah.
In batting especially, but even in bowling, the spinners will get a little more purchase from the wicket, and again, I'm happy Harbhajan is not in the squad, and so that gives Ashwin and the other players, I think Jadeja will be the one sharing the spin duties with him, a little more chance to prove themselves at that level, and I think India should come and compete well, if not win.
Yeah, we don't have much to add on that series, but your take if you were to guess the series result.
England is in amazing form, and even
the luck is going with England.
The luck is with them, and even the young players that they're producing have come good against India in the recent series and the practice matches. So
you would go.
It's a tough call,
if
but
there is no rain, what would be your tally?
3-2 England.
3-2 England. I would go 3-2 India. I still want to show courage to the world.
Although my heart says 5-0 India, but I know my brain says come back to reality.
Well,
so
yeah.
It's I'd say 3-2 England based on current form.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see who's right on that one. I'm sure you want me to be right on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Goes
without saying.
Okay, now let's cover last week's cricket events. There was Champions League. What did you make of it? Actually, after our last week's conversation, I decided to watch some Champions League, and I was thoroughly surprised by the
pleasantly surprised.
Yes, pleasantly surprised by the quality of cricket that was on offer, and make me addicted to the concept of Champions League, with the 200 runs being chased twice.
I think that one game was classic.
What, the 215 one?
The one where Bangalore chased off the last ball, the six of the last ball, and that was a
I
classic.
watched that in highlights actually, and even in the highlights, I knew the result was happening. My heart was still beating very fast. So it was definitely a good game. Amazing game,
and although I'm a little disappointed with the overall champions, I'm not a big fan of the Mumbai team at the moment. So
technically, you know what I've generally, again, I theorize every podcast my theories, but my theory is that T20s is generally a format where the underdogs have a very good chance of winning, and generally you will see an underdog performing and taking the cup. This is not true with Chennai Super Kings, of course, but in all the World T20s that have happened, the underdogs have taken them, and also I wasn't surprised that they would win, and especially in Chennai, where Bangalore has played all their matches at home and coming to Chennai and performing very poorly in the IPL final, I might add, and having Mumbai play in Chennai a day before, all things were going towards Mumbai.
I think it all adds up when you look back at it. Yes, Mumbai had the luck going for them, and the good thing was a lot of players stepped up and performed when the team required them to. Be it the youngster, the new guy who opened, the name slips my mind right now. But
Cover, you mean?
Cover, yeah, yes. Cover. And then Malinga, obviously one of the best in the business at the moment in limited overs, where he's not part of test matches anymore, that's why. Yeah. And Harbhajan, for a change, stepping up and being
his
countered.
His captaincy was, I think one of the most, you were saying last time that he should not be in the team, and I was looking at his captaincy. I thought, what kind of an amazing mind he is. In the semi-finals, he brings Franklin Ashwin of all people to bowl the 19th over, and then he gives Malinga an extra third over in the start of his spell.
I think the Franklin over was a bit of a stroke of luck that just came off.
You need a certain stroke of luck.
Definitely.
Every good captain, like for example, you say Mahendra Singh Dhoni's 2007, Joginder Sharma, 7 runs left against Pakistan. You will not give Joginder Sharma that over. Obviously,
Definitely not.
You need that luck of stupidity of Misbah ul Haq for us to get the match, but you need certain luck.
So yeah, well, all things, it depends, a champion team or a team of champions, they need luck. They need some amount of right place, right time to go their way. And
then when we know what lack of luck feels like after our tour to England. But definitely a very good Champions League. People were saying it was the best of the 3 or 4? 3?
3.
3, yes. So I haven't watched any of them. So it was a good experience for me.
Yes.
A sort of sad feeling for David Warner not making 100 and then not going on to win the semi.
Oh, it's kind of tough, but it's such as the format. Anytime any team can come back into the game, it's not over till it's over.
Yeah,
because I think one day it offers a little more flexibility for you. If by the 35th over or 40th over you haven't reached a certain target, the game's yours. T20, you don't really know. Even in the last 3 overs, the game can change.
Yeah.
50 required of 3 overs doesn't matter. You can still go and achieve that. So it's not over till it's over kind of thing. So it's harsh scoring a century and tearing the bowling apart and still ending up on the losing side.
But certainly he has made a name for himself. David Warner and Virat Kohli. They both played very well this Champions League.
Yes.
Now let's continue our talk on certain issues that have come up. Last time we talked about controversially yours, the book from Shoaib Akhtar. This time let's talk about another problem that has come from Pakistan cricket, that court case that has been going on against
Salman Butt and Asif for the spot fixing scandal.
Yeah. What's your, first of all, we weren't doing this podcast when that thing actually broke out. First of all, what was your take on that?
Pretty shocked because match fixing was heard of, spot fixing was another thing.
Yeah, we didn't know what spot fixing was.
That term was alien to me at that point in time, and that's when I found out that money could be made off things like that also. Like bowling, such a harmless thing like bowling a no ball at a predetermined time. Kind of disgusting the way the system works, but again, if players are found guilty, I hope they get the severest punishment and move on from there. They were good players, but again, if they do not adhere to they don't respect the game enough to play it fairly, then I don't think you deserve to be in there.
Yeah, and for our listeners, let me apply some legal sense to it. It's people may remember that they have been banned, but that was from the ICC. This is from the criminal courts in England. So if something goes wrong, they may have to serve jail sentence in England. So this is kind of a different deal. This is more above and beyond that fight, which is just not to play cricket, and you can still live your life in open air. But this is serious stuff we are talking about. And last week I have read almost every article on my actually Bible, which is Crick Info, written on this topic, and it just is the most disgusting feeling after reaching. I get it basically the most horrible feeling I find. The controversy created by Mazhar Majid, the $1 million scam that he was doing, and very, very sad to see. And at that time also I had the opinion that anybody who plays with the emotions of the people for money should be banned, because we spend a lot of our time on the sport to watch the sport, and I expect certain dignity from the players to at least
certain sort of integrity. You lose, you win, whatever the case be, but if you play your game with integrity, be it any game, be it anything you do, if you do it with integrity, it just comes across. And you don't feel like you wasted your life doing this as a viewer.
As a viewer, yeah, because
following your team so closely, and I feel bad for the Pakistan supporters.
I feel sorry for them because if Amir would have come, he was the champion bowler.
I believe he's still one of my favorite bowlers from the younger generation, from the current lot.
Yeah.
I wish it hadn't happened to him. I wish he hadn't done that. If he's guilty,
well,
that is.
He's an 18-year-old, but
nothing.
I feel sort of sad about that.
18-year-old or 28-year-old, I think integrity is something instilled in you pretty early. Although, a lot of that amount of money can sway anyone's opinion or anyone's integrity or character. But again, champions are the ones who actually survive the temptation and come and rise above it. So, great potential, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and watch where he goes from here.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're moving on to our next segment now. I'm pretty sure people have heard about the recent ICC decision to revert the DRS review system back to the board hosting the matches, and it's no longer a mandatory system, and it's up to the participating boards to decide whether they want to have the review system in place or not. Pretty short-lived change, wouldn't you say so?
Well, yes, it was, and I was very disappointed in the sense that they did not want to correct the problem of technology. They just wanted to make an excuse that the technology doesn't work and let's go back to our old system. That is what I felt from this. They had made strong strides. Technology is good, but I think they need some improvement on technology. We saw that in the India-England series. It had a lot of issues, according to me, for it to be applied for unilaterally in every series. I don't know where they are going. It's sort of an unending saga. Sort of disappointed, but sort of happy, because if it's not perfect, it should not be applied.
Absolutely. It's a good decision. It's up to the boards. If they feel confident, if the players are confident that this will work, and if they are in favor of having it, have it.
Yeah.
If that's not the case, then there's no point having a system in place which no one wants.
Yeah, and there is no point of having half system where you don't have the pitch map. You just have the hot spot. That's not a way to go. If you want to go, you go through the whole way and just give a full picture to the viewers and to the umpires to make proper decision. And hopefully they will make something out of it. Now the ODI rules come into play from the ODI starting this week. As you can see, there's a lot of ODIs happening. So, your take? I'm sure they are for the good. I think
we discussed this during our very first podcast, and this was one of the major topics of discussion during that one. So people who haven't heard our first podcast, please go back and refer to it. We had a lengthy, healthy discussion about it.
Yeah.
But again, some rules welcomed, some rules not so impressed. At least that's my opinion, because
which rules you will welcome the most?
The two balls.
Yes, me too. I was also going to say that one.
I think the game was becoming a little too batsman favored. Bowlers needed to come back into the game. They needed something to get them back in. That one bouncer per over isn't just working, isn't cutting it anymore. You need something else for you to stay in the game, to compete against everything that's happening in favor of the batsman. Pitches are being made in their favor. The rules are being tweaked to be in their favor. So being a bowler, primarily a bowler initially, I feel for the other bowlers out there, and I think it's an amazing improvement, because again, with two balls being used from each end, the ball lasts longer. You can shine it till the 25th or whatever over, 20th over. So 40 overs you can get good swing, and I think it helps tilt the scales a little bit in the favor of the bowlers. But again, the bowlers who would rely on reverse swing will be the ones affected, and we'll have to wait and watch how it goes and how it's accepted by the
rule is like that. You have
bowling
to
community.
Test it out. And your least favorite rule in that?
The least favorite rule is the obstructing the field while running. I think the one that if a fielder is trying to take aim at stumps and if the batsman runs across the line of throw, then that is against the rules now. I don't necessarily support that. as I think I made the same point in the first podcast
Good
also,
memory, yes.
that if the batsman has the presence of mind to save his wicket, then I don't think he should be punished, because if you're allowing a batsman to stop the ball with his body parts while going onto the stumps after playing it, it's the same thing. Although this is a little more than just stopping the ball with your body parts, but again, it's the presence of mind that needs to be rewarded and not fined.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what my view is.
Yeah, for me, I'm really looking forward to see all the rules. I don't think that right now I have an opinion on one rule being bad straight away, but I think the rule that I'm most looking forward to is the one that you also said, a ball being used, a new ball being used each, and then going for the 25 overs each. So let's see how that plays out. Another one that I'm really interested in is the runners rule, because I think that can create some controversies for us to talk about in future. So I'm really looking forward.
Thank you, ICC,
Yes, thank you, ICC.
for keeping our business going.
Yes, our non-profit business. Anyways, let's move on to now our final segment, as usual, moment of the week. Now the moment of the week is Matthew Hayden hitting 380 runs against the poor Zimbabweans at Perth.
And this was, I think, 8 years ago, 2003,
Yes,
I believe. I remember that innings, watching it on TV, and it was a big deal, obviously, because he had broken the world record of Brian Charles Lara, 375 that he held before Hayden scored 380.
Yep.
And that was a great innings. I think he scored around 220 odd runs in boundaries, which is sort of the second highest for any triple century or any test innings. Say second highest, yes, I believe that's what it is. And
Who has the highest?
I do not remember the stats exactly, but
That would be a very, very, very major stat if the person who has the highest, because not many people have scored. Only one person has scored more than 380, and having more runs and boundaries with.
I don't think it was Lara though. It was one of the older players, but I keep forgetting who it was. But
Maybe Bradman.
I don't remember.
Okay.
We'll have to look it up.
Well, we'll look it up and tell you next week. This is our cliffhanger, as they say.
Well, in any case, a great innings. Obviously against a hapless bowling attack. So
No, actually, they were very strong that time. They had.
I wouldn't say very strong. They were decent.
Heath, Streak, and Drew Blignot, Ray Price. These were good bowlers of their time. They weren't bad, as they say. I mean, not better than at least the present Zimbabwe attack.
Oh, absolutely. Better than the present attack for sure. But again, I wouldn't say a top-class bowling attack.
Well, in those days, Australia had the top-class bowling attack, so still.
But it was a very short-lived record, though. Only 6 months, and the great man Brian Lara came back and reclaimed what was rightfully his to begin with.
Yeah.
And I think within 6 months, he went on and scored the 400 not out against England. And
his 375 was also
against England.
Yeah.
So his favorite opponents, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
but it was definitely an entertaining innings. I remember watching that on TV, and I remember him hitting a Perth is actually very long, straight down the ground, and I remember him hitting Ray Price for constantly over like long on and stuff like that.
with ease, might we add.
And I was
Yes.
amazed at, and in those days Hayden was in his pomp, and definitely a very good innings.
And the amount of power that man had was insane, and I actually kind of miss seeing him in the IPL now, because
you can see him in the
Big Bash League
for the Brisbane Heat.
yes, he has decided to come out for Brisbane, and
Shane Warne is back actually.
yes,
So
Shane
that-
Warne's out of the retirement. To play county cricket. To play domestic cricket.
Yes. But anyways, it was one thing I would like to share with everybody is that thanks for all the support we have gotten last week. Either it was the quality of the podcast or something. We were amazed at the number of people who listened to it, and keep listening to us, guys.
Yeah, again, thank you for all the love, and I cannot stress on it more that it's your appreciation that keeps us going, and we love what we do, and if you guys enjoy it. That's the biggest feedback we can get.
Yeah.
And
when we started this, I mean, we would have been happy if 2 people listened to it, and the fact of the matter is only 2 people did listen to it.
and that was the 2 of us.
That was the 2 of us.
So it's great now that it's growing and it's a little more popular than what was, say, 4 months ago when we actually began. And it's great to see all the new places where the podcast has been downloaded
from.
Yeah, so it's great to see all these places on the maps, and I think we're planning to have a map and pin all the places where each download happens every week, and it'll be great. We want to cover the entire map, hopefully sometime in the near future.
The very, very interesting fact is that we don't have many people from India listening to it. That's very surprising. I think that's a big market that everybody's trying to tap these days, you know.
And it's good that we're diversifying into other countries where cricket is, say, not the primary sport, and people living there do want to get a taste of cricket. It might be just, I don't know, people from the subcontinent, people from anywhere in the world, but say countries like Afghanistan or countries like Ireland and the United States and
many more.
So
actually, the 2 most popular cities is Los Angeles and San Jose that listen to our podcast. So that's very interesting.
Thank you for all the love.
Yes. Thank you, and do get in touch with us. Add us on Facebook, the Cricket Hotspot, and our email is questions@thecrickethotspot.com.
Again, all the feedbacks and all the comments are welcomed. If you love the show, please like us on Facebook, or write us what you'd like to see or like to hear us talk about, and any improvements are more than welcome.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. See you next time.
Thank you, guys, and till then, goodbye.
Bye.